into the space, chasing all of the gains, chasing the pumps and all of the hype trains. But like in life, shit, buy before you're good. Was told to buy when it was boring, like a rainmaker should. I buy when it's down, don't chase the boats that I miss. Cause I always make the time in mind. I sit the one out cause I'm patient like that, and I'll wait for the right time. I sell when it's high, I buy when it's low. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm just a rainmaker running the show. Calculated investments, I don't lead with my heart. Principles are simple, they're leaving a mark. Buy when it's boring, just gotta be smart. I sell when it's hype, like all the channels they pump it. That's when I was selling, got parabolic, then dump it. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes it time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. The time is never better, the time like the present. This next 5 years is a gift and it's feeling like heaven. I'm committed to learn, to study and to know that nothing comes easy but with knowledge to gain show. Sticking out this road cause soon will come a bear market. We're learning and growing and when it's slow will be the target. They say it's come out, Bitcoin is dead. The massive decreases can get to your head. Sticking around, the time is better. I'm strong like that, I'll let the others be fretters. 2 years time the bull will bring back the gains. That makes it worth the effort cause here comes the rain. So let's go rainmakers, let's make it all happen.
Do you remember when we talked a few weeks back about how we still had some pain ahead before it was sunshine and roses again? Well, I didn't want to be right, but this is exactly that, and it could get more painful, but we also may be at or very near the bottom. So today we will take a look at Bitcoin dominance as well as the Bitcoin chart, because it does still affect the whole crypto market. I do also want to share with you today some total gems, as one aspect of crypto continues to have incredible growth, and where my feeling is there will be absolutely astonishing gains still to come, and that is crypto video games. We have an important news item as well that we want to share with some really solid news that from it has me very bullish that we still have a lot of sunshine ahead. Now, last week we had an incredible interview with the co-founders of Cornucopias, the first AAA level game on Cardano. If you missed that, you can check that out here on the replay. Then I want to get into your thoughts, questions, especially any concerns you have with the crypto market as it's been pummeled these last few days. I step away for a few days to take care of some family concerns and the whole crypto market goes in the crapper. Of course, right? Yes, it's my fault. And you can thank me later for this absurdly good buying opportunity we didn't know for sure if we would get, but hoped we would. Now, I know most of us are saying, but all my capital is already deployed, and when that is the case, absurdly good buying opportunities are not near as fun, but they will be forever part of our crypto journey as these kind of pullbacks happen, even in the middle of a bigger bull market. Not just today, but you will see them many times in the coming 5 years. Welcome to the Crypto Rainn channel. I'm your host, Jay Rainn, and if you like money and crypto, and you're looking for a real investor to take on the crypto market, join the Rainmaker family by liking this video and subscribing with that all notifications bell enabled. Special note, you know this, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm a crypto investor myself. I've been doing this for just 4 years. Now, prior to crypto, I had 20 years investing experience in real estate and other things, and that had been my whole career. So I've been working with investments most of my life since business school. When I saw crypto, I saw something special, a technology sector that was going all the right directions. But I'm still not a financial advisor. I do share with you how I think about these things. That's turned my portfolio from thousands to millions in just the past 3 years. Now, what I do talk about on this channel, I do own, or I plan to own most of what I talk about, because I don't talk about cryptos that I don't believe in, and there are lots of those. Now, we want to thank our Patreon members. We just got done with our Patreon pre-live stream earlier today. We do that on Fridays. I really enjoy those because we have more direct video interactions with our Patreon members through our private Discord. There is a link below to our Patreon if it interests you to join. We wanted to welcome some of our new Patreons, Cillian R, Michael D, also Pete D upgraded from silver to gold. Thank you for doing that. There are things that I share in gold that I do not share anywhere else. So because it is closed group and not public, there is even more I am able to discuss there that I can't discuss in other settings. Now, it says at the beginning of this that there's a sponsorship disclaimer. If it says that, that is because we have an ongoing relationship with Wanchain, who has been very good to us, and they give us 500 won every month to give away to our audience. And this week, stay tuned because we will be doing that Wanchain giveaway today in our live stream. So join us, strap in for the show. Let's welcome our producer, D-Money, in the Crypto Rainn Command Center.
Hey, what up, Jay? Happy Friday.
So good to be back.
Yeah, it's we're happy to have you. It kind of threw off my whole week, right? I mean, it affects me a little bit more than other people, I think, but yeah, I mean, it was like I just didn't. I mean, I was watching other channels, and instead of hearing everything, I wanted to hear from you. So we're really happy to have you back.
Yeah, urgent family matter. It was actually a good one. It took my full attention for a couple of days. I still have some things to wrap up related to that, but it was a good thing, not a bad thing.
Yeah. Well,
so
glad to hear it.
Let's check in the chat. 9 says, hey, what's going on, Rainmakers? He is one of our star admins. We love 9. He's helps admin our Telegram channel. There is a link to that below. You still can join that for free. Vasco E, I forgot that today is Friday and missed pre-Patreon stream. Vasco, tell everyone what you think about those. Let's make it rain, fam.
Yeah.
Hey, says Jerry Squire.
While we're doing that, let's go ahead and start the party. Here we go.
Let's do it. Join me, Rainmakers. So, Bitcoin did decide to plunge, and what really caused it? Now, we talked in the pre-Patreon, or the pre-stream for the Patreon members about this, and with the time I had, I shared some deeper thoughts. I want to share a little bit of those thoughts with you. So some of it is caused by whale manipulation. If you notice, one of the articles that kicked this off, it had to do with the Fed meeting notes from like a month ago. So a story was written about that said that they were considering buying less bonds, which means essentially less printing of money, and they wanted to decrease how much they were printing. So why does that cause the stock market and the crypto market to crash? Well, because when that news is released, and sometimes the very big whales have some connections with the news, and they time these articles with then taking some short positions against all the longs that are out there, and then they sell. Ooh.
Yeah, you're looking hot right now, Jay.
That's amazing. So our camera, you might need to switch it off and on.
Yeah,
our camera has been struggling today.
I know. Let me see if I can figure it out without doing that.
So we should still have, it looks like audio is still coming through. So while you're working on that, let me share some more with my thoughts. In fact, you might be able to switch it over to a screen where they can see me in the corner, which will still be pink, as well as my chart.
Yep, here we go.
Let's do that. Perfect. So while he's working on that, let me share my chart with you. Now, whale manipulation, this is part of the market. It does even happen in the larger markets that are regulated. They just have to be a lot more careful and a lot less brazen there. And it all kind of goes in hand in hand. So when they know a news article is coming out, or they've hand-fed the article to their friends in the news, they know it's going to lead to a sell-off. And the reason is, number one, they want this sell-off if they take the short positions. Then they just have to get that party started by selling off enough to break some support levels. If it breaks through that support, then actually it'll free fall for a little while. Other people will solve, they'll cause some cascading liquidations that further bring the price down, so they can make a lot of money on those shorts, and allows them to then make some money on the shorts as well as then buy back cheaper. So they sold it high, they sold off a bunch of Bitcoin at highs, took some shorts out, made a bunch of money on the way down. You do make more money on shorts than you do on longs, and then they buy back in. Should the authorities do anything about that? No, I don't know. I don't think so. Sometimes when you give authorities power, sometimes we give them power hoping that they will do good things with them, and sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just get in bed with the people that are doing those things. So I don't know that getting regulation on that part of it will even solve the problem, because this does happen on the other things. But if we're here in crypto and we're wanting to make a lot of money on crypto, it is important to understand that that happens, and that whales are playing in these very big waters, and to understand so you don't get wiped out by it. This is one of the reasons I don't play around with leverage. Imagine if you felt like this zone right here was the bottom, and it absolutely then took off from here. All right, so are we still showing up as live to everyone? Got it. Jerry Squire says,
yeah. Thanks, Jerry. Yeah, something, OBS wasn't responding again, so yeah, I'm going to still work on this camera. I don't know what the deal is, but here we go.
Yeah, thank you. This camera is giving us trouble today. Bless its heart. It might be struggling. So, let me share with you Bitcoin dominance, because I was noticing, well, on the Bitcoin chart here, look at this pattern. So it was going on this trajectory here, and you saw it break up, come back to support, and then with the release of this article, it broke down further back into this trading pattern. Well, will it break below this support? I don't know. But if it does, it could then come back down to some levels at 35,000 and then even some levels at 30,000. Let me share with you some interesting things as I was looking at today that I noticed. Now, from here, we can go from this top down to this bottom. So this was a previous top versus how far it went before it then continued up, making higher highs. So that was 97 days, and it went down a total of 54%. If we look more closely at this, let's use this bar here. It went down a total of 50% over a period of 75, roughly 73 days. Okay, so let's take that kind of measurement over here. Here's the top, and then it's come down so far only 41%. What if it were to go to about 50%? That could bring it right down to this level here. And let's say it happened over, say, 74 days or 73 days. That means by the 19th of January, maybe the pain will be over. Now, maybe it's over now and it's going to turn around. I would rather err on the side of caution and say there's going to be some more pain. Sometimes when the market knocks you down, it likes to kick you a bunch of times first to see if you will shake out of the game. And then if you don't, you're then usually in for a wild ride up. And so that's what I'm looking forward to. I do suspect that there will be some more pain before it gets really good. And so it's just preparing for that. All right, Bitcoin dominance. Let's take a look at that. Now, earlier this year, Bitcoin took off all the way through December, and then the altcoins just really started to skyrocket early January, and that's why you see Bitcoin dominance fall off a cliff here. And we're right back to this resistance here. I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin is ready to take a run and it takes off for a little bit, leaving the altcoins maybe just trading sideways, maybe going up a little bit, but Bitcoin outperforming it to come back up some and maybe even along back up to this level here, this resistance, before then going back down as the altcoins absolutely take off. Now my guess, and it is a guess, it's an educated guess, but still a guess, is that we have some really good months ahead through June or July. Bitcoin might peak out in as early as April or May in my guess, and I do think it will strongly break 100K, and then it will go all the way up to the 200K range. I'm not invested heavy in Bitcoin at all. Almost everything I have is in the altcoins because when the market goes up, altcoins go up a lot more. The risk of that is when Bitcoin or the market goes down, altcoins go down even more. I'm cool with that risk. It fits my risk portfolio profile because I like those huge gains and those rides up. But I do diversify because you never know which altcoins are going to do exceptionally well and some will just do pretty well during that time period. All right, we do have a camera that is working. Our other one crapped out on us, so yeah, let me see how much I can get this centered.
Yeah, good enough for the girls, right?
That'll work. So let's take a look also at ETH because it is such a key factor in how everything's doing. ETH came up and what I like that I'm seeing in the market still is higher highs. So both ETH and Bitcoin, they peaked out, then they had a big retracement, and then they come and they broke in higher highs, and they have not made higher or lower lows. They've continued making higher lows. So we'll see where the bottom of this ends up being, but it could come all the way down near 2,700 and still be in a good position to then go further up. All right, let's talk about some altcoin gems. Now, why do I like altcoins so much? Well, is it plausible that Bitcoin's going to go 50x from here during this run? Probably not, right? Is it possible it might even do 10x? So we're roughly at, let's see, 41,000 today. Is it going to go to 410,000? I don't think so, but is it plausible that a lot of altcoins are going to go 10x, 20x, 50x? Possibly, even if we're lucky and we pick really well, 100x. Some will. That's what has my attention, altcoins. That's why most of my portfolio goes to altcoins during a bigger bull market. And so I wanted to bring to you a couple that I've talked about today, or that I've talked about before, but looked at as well. I want to check on what's going on in the chat. 9 says, all good besides the cam. Yep, all good. All right, you can see my face. All chill. The angle isn't exactly what we wanted, but it's working. Cool. So let's talk about some of these games I want to share with you, because I think these ones are going to be huge, and I'll share with you the reasons why. Like some of the biggest games that are coming out and ones to watch for. The first one is FOTA, Fight of the Ages. Now, FOTA is a metaverse MOBA RPG game, a massive game allowing the real-time gameplay for millions of gamers to join the metaverse. Let me pull up the Twitter too when we look at that. It is a AAA level esport game. Now, esports contribute to a massive, it's a massive direction of tech growth where there's going to be tons and tons of money continuing to funnel probably over the next 2 decades. Well, FOTA, as well as crypto gaming, has positioned itself to not only benefit from something that's already happening, but actually still a lot of market share from a lot of games that are out there, because wouldn't you rather be playing a game where you earn things of actual value that you can then sell, right? Now, some of the things I like about it, this is their Twitter page, and they have a very active Twitter site, and their graphics are incredible. And some of the things that they're doing, look at these numbers. 182,000 now of Twitter followers. Now, they have done a lot of giveaways. They do have a lot of hype, which means they have a lot of market sentiment, meaning a lot of people are very excited about them. So that's part of what builds this. Part of this, too, is when they run these kind of giveaways, there are some people that step in with bots to give them more of a chance to try to earn the giveaways. So some of that comes from this, but this happens on every single big game. The bots don't worry about the ones that aren't going to be big. Now, it wouldn't hurt if you take a look at FOTA, follow them, and enter some of these competitions, especially if you have time. So some people in crypto have a lot of money, not a lot of time. Some people have a lot of time, not a lot of money. If you're in that situation, it might not be a bad situation to try every one of their giveaways, because I think this one will do really well as follow them closely to see where their IDOs are, because I suspect if you can get in on the IDO, that's a very good place to be on this one. I want to check the chat. How many of you have heard of FOTA before? I know I cover some of these things up and coming, because for the ones that you need to get in on the IDO, you have to be aware of them before then. Dr. Stuff says, hit that like button, peeps. Yes, we would appreciate that very much. Now, some interesting things about FOTA that has me bullish on them. They are using Microsoft's Meshes technology, which is the latest mixed reality technology that's implemented into their FOTA metaverse. It brings a unique experience in the virtual world. They are working closely with Microsoft Mesh to help them perfect that technology, because Microsoft also wants to be one of the major players in bringing this technology, because they realize this is where things are going. Now, they do offer in the game hybrid farming, which you can essentially provide some liquidity in pairs between their token and some of the other tokens, and you can get some extra rewards for that. You can also, in their game, I like this part of it, you can rent to play with their things, or essentially you'll be able to rent out their NFTs or rent their NFTs. They've also got some additional ideas, because there is a barrier to entry to some of these games. Like FOTA specifically, you have to have an NFT, at least one of their character NFTs, in order to play. And so they're playing around with different ideas to allow low barriers to entry for new players to come in. Now, the team itself has over 10 years experience, with some of them working at Microsoft before, but also specifically what had my attention is some of them working at Riot Games. Now, Riot Games, show you. Produced and released a game that you may have heard about before called League of Legends. Now, specifically, League of Legends also was on Netflix. They made a really cool series. The graphics were really fun, and the series was good. It did take my wife like a full episode and a half before she got on board because, you know, fantasy type stuff like this she doesn't care about. But, you know, it was a video game that came into a Netflix series, so I was really interested to watch it. Well, one of the developers, at least some of the development team from FOTA, is from the studios that brought the World League of Legends, which has become one of the most played games in all of history. So notable people, there's also some of their developers are from Kixeye. Let's see. Now, they do continue to have epic growth, not just in their Twitter, but also on their Telegram channel. They've been doing these giveaways, so if you haven't followed them, I just strongly recommend you do. Take a look at them because I think they will be huge. They seem to have the right team and going the right direction. I do like their MOBA. Mobile on, what is it? What does that stand for, D?
I don't know.
Multiplayer Online Battle Arena.
Yeah.
There we go. So nothing like getting on camera to forget everything.
Especially with a bunch of technical difficulties. Give me a break, guys.
Yes, we have had technical difficulties all day today. It's been crazy. All right, the next game I want to bring you is, I'm going to show you some more gameplay. It is the Fabled, and it looks absolutely incredible. So the Fabled, basically, you get a house and a farm. The house where you can store and display your items. These items will be stored in your own account, connected to the blockchain. You'll be able to choose from these several housing styles and pieces of land. You'll be able to have a farm where you can grow some crops that have some like healing, minor healing powers and stuff like that. So that's cool. Players can craft weapons and items from ingredients they mint from the abyss. New weapons and items will continuously be added. And then they have a portal area. So essentially you port from your home into the abyss, which is where all the action happens on it. Now, Fable, I have touched on it before, but this deserves some really good attention, and you'll see in the gameplay why. Now, use your NFT character to explore the abyss, fight monsters, earn rewards. It is a AAA level quality game experience on the blockchain. Now, using your NFT character as you explore these, you'll be able to get rewarded based on skill-based play in the game itself. The Fabled's action RPG will have you have the ability to explore everything cool on the back end, D?
Yeah, everything's cool, man. I'm just trying to figure out if I can get a different angle from this camera.
You can get a different angle from the cam. If you connect up this one to your computer, I do have another one over this side.
Okay, yeah, good call.
This will give you a much better angle.
Okay, right on, hold on.
Okay, so we'll play around with some more camera. We do have multiple cameras. Players collect rewards for your victories that you can then use those rewards to mint new items. To play, you must own at least one Fable character, as I said, and it will have 20,000 first-generation mints. So this is why I need to cover it today, because if this game does well, these first-generation mints will probably do really, really well over time. Now, with these first-gen mints, interestingly enough, there are 120 different character models with different rarities. Now, 2,000 of these 20,000 mints are going to be god-demon classes. In other words, pagan gods, Greek gods, Hindu gods, Norse gods. So only 10% are going to be of the god or demon class. The remaining 90% will be warrior classes, which will be samurai, Spartan, knight, Amazon, ranger, and mages. As well as your houses will be NFTs. You can pick between a variety of housing styles that appear on your home plot. The farm, you will also be able to have pets and mounts. And your home will give you a place to store those. So let me share with you some of this gameplay. Oh, I got audio coming out. Is that on my end? Mute it. I don't know if they can hear it with it muted. Let me see if we've got, probably not. We'll just have to deal with the sound. This kind of gameplay is exactly what I've been looking for in a blockchain game. This is like, Skyrim was one of my favorite games to play of all time, but it isn't. It's a closed universe. You can't even play with other players. That's the downside of it. But look at this. Doesn't this remind you of Skyrim? Who in the chat has ever played Skyrim? While you're waiting to hear back on that, this reminds me incredibly of Skyrim. So this is probably the game I've been waiting for about 10 years. Now, I do like video games. I am a bit of a nerd that way. I'm thankful for my nerd side, because who that is in crypto already doesn't have a bit of a nerd side, right? That's what brought us into crypto in the early days. Because I don't know about you, I'd rather be here early than late. Isn't that dragon absolutely incredible? I'm just gonna, I love it. Yes, that is sick. All right, that is exactly the game I've been waiting for forever. Now, in the Abyss, players have an expanding list of worlds to choose from. The possibilities endless as chaos is unpredictable. Each level has its own unique aesthetics and story. Towards the end of each level is a boss that will take skills and patience to defeat. Upon your victory, you will receive Abyss fragments. Now, this comes from their pitch deck that I was able to find. Your health bars, this is kind of normal. You can use Abyss fragments to mint energy potions that enable them to enter the Abyss once they have run out, as well as crafting. And so this gives you an idea of some shards and other things for crafting that you'll be able to use. And then mounts in the mini game. Fly around on your NFT mount, burn down villages, destroy sentries, explore the overworld. See why I wanted to share this with you? In fact, with our goals of creating the most educated audience, as well as positioning you so you're aware of the stuff that is most likely to be hot before it's available. Well, don't you want to know about things beforehand versus later? So I don't know any more details on their NFT minting coming up, but that is one of the strongest ones to look for. So if you haven't already, find them on Fight of the Ages, or FOTA, on Twitter. So it's at Fight of the Ages, and follow there for more details. You can also then get their Discord link right here. Next one I want to cover. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Sorry, Jay, just to... was that for... I'm obviously distracted over here, but you were
Sure.
talking about the Fabled, and then you went back to FOTA. Were you trying to share Fabled stuff?
Yes, I jump. Thank you. I am a little bit off my game because my stuff is not wanting to work today. The Fabled is the one that has... the 20,000 mints that you do not want to miss out on. But both of them are incredible. So the Fabled, here we go. The Fabled NFT right here. You can see I'm already following them, and their Discord is right here. So check them out. It is still a little bit early days. There hasn't been a lot of video coverage at all, other than my coverage. So there's only 5,700 followers. Good time to know about it. I hope they release their NFTs before everyone catches wind of it, because this is the kind of gameplay I've been looking for. The other one I wanted to share with you, our third project on the list today, isn't a game, but it is a VR metaverse. And if you saw how Blocktopia performed, let me share with you how it did. This was Blocktopia. Now, yes, today is a fantastic day. Okay, perfect.
Can you angle that down a bit?
Yeah, I will get this set up. We're switching cameras yet again for one that's a little bit more online. And this guy does not want to cooperate either. Okay. All right, it's Friday.
You're looking red in the face. I don't think you're embarrassed. I think that's the new camera.
That's the levels. You might be able to run an auto color correction, which may or may not work.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, so it is a VR metaverse. It is a comparative to Blocktopia, which we're specifically going to talk about. And I look forward to sharing some details on this. Now, Blocktopia hit ridiculous numbers from its IDO price. And that's why knowing about these type of projects beforehand can make such a difference. Because if you're able to get in on the IDO, you can have some amazing gains. So even before it was tradable, like, it came way, way up. But then if you bought it on the market, you still did exceptionally well, because it was buyable at half a cent. And it went all the way almost up to 18 cents. Falling just under that, it's a little over 17 cents. those are some incredible gains, because even if you weren't able to get in at the IDO and you bought at under half a cent, you still could have made like 34x. So now, how does this relate to Blocktopia? First of all, MetaMall itself is essentially a metaverse mall, a VR space for meeting up, socializing, and then importantly, interacting with brands in the VR world to possibly make purchases. They have a token sale and a land sale coming up, or should I say a space sale. I've been aware of them for 2 months now and done some ongoing research and wanted to give them more in-depth coverage today, partly because of the team's strong background in VR and partly because of how I felt they handled some recent drama that happened with Blocktopia, which did launch several months back, and I just showed with you their price performance. Now, they are definitely competing in the same space, and which led to probably a mistake on the MetaMall team that they should have caught, that then caused a gigantic backlash by Blocktopia that seemed ridiculous. And a very appropriate response, in my opinion, by MetaMall. The response by MetaMall made me more bullish on their leadership. And sometimes, I've seen this in business over the past 25 years, that controversy every once in a while leads something to do worse, but many times leads something to do extremely well. So I want to share with you exactly what the controversy is, or at least what I've heard about it. My understanding is the VC world behind the scenes has absolutely blown up about this controversy over the past month, and it's been fun to watch. So Blocktopia came out a couple months ago. In fact, I don't know that we'll have an exact date here, but roughly we can say early October, fair to say. And they went absolutely crazy, and they've since been trading downward. This is why you take profits when it's going crazy. So MetaMall is coming out, and their pitch deck or white paper had some similarities. They didn't have exact copies, but a lot of similarities with the white paper of Blocktopia. At least that's my understanding of it. And Blocktopia went into a rage, and there was then an article written by MetaMall specifically about this called "Let's Save the Metaverse from the Monopoly of Blocktopia." All right, so I'm going to actually read some of this article to you, so bear with me. In the past 48 hours, we witnessed the bizarre truth about the hidden intention of Blocktopia, which is completely against the ethos of the decentralized world. Till then, Blocktopia was one of the upcoming projects on the metaverse whose vision we admired. We were focused on building our own project, and we came across a statement from Blocktopia about MetaMall. This is a response to Blocktopia. These claims are all baseless. Our vision, mission, basically Blocktopia said they've copied us, copyright infringement, and we're outing them as a scam. That's what Blocktopia said. So this was MetaMall's response to it. Our vision and mission, as described in the white paper and website, are unique in industry. During launch of website and white paper, we had given a design agency a mandate with our inputs. Our community and team members informed us that they might have used some stock photos and content from website. As soon as we found out, our team did a thorough revision within 24 hours and removed any deviances. As someone who holds 12 patents, I understand copyright infringement very well. We have received countless messages from many investors of Blocktopia that they are not distributing tokens to their own investors. These must be VC investors, as contracted. Many investors even went on calling Blocktopia a scam. It is unfortunate that Blocktopia is using us as a smokescreen to get out of its obligations towards investors, telling investors that if they even talk to us, they will not distribute investor tokens. Now that is not kosher, what Blocktopia is doing, and they have been threatening anyone who is considered investing in MetaMalls that essentially they will not distribute their tokens to them. They have no power to do that. They're relying on, in crypto and international, it's very hard to sue anyone. That kind of stuff is not cool at all. Boy, we might switch back to the other camera because this coloring is absolutely terrible.
All right.
I apologize for the technical difficulties. This is one of the challenges with going live, right? We can't just edit this out and reshoot it. Now, you can see why I want to bring this to you. I mean, that response is absolutely ridiculous, and I've confirmed this response with some of the people that I know that are Blocktopia investors. I'm not cool with that at all. And if you read through this, and perhaps we'll link this to this below, this article, so you can read it yourself, it seemed to me that they handled it very, very well. And I think this controversy will end up giving them a lot of positive exposure. I was bullish on them before. I'm much more bullish on them even after this. So their token is not yet live. watch this one and follow them. You can follow them on Twitter at MetaMall_IO. Yeah, so let me pull this up one more time and link to you. I want to share with you essentially the Telegram communication they had with Blocktopia. Blocktopia told them, "We will announce tomorrow that you're scammers." Great English there. "We only have 500K strong community. Then I will get all our KOLs to do the same." They were successfully able to temporarily get MetaMall's Twitter account suspended because they had enough people creating an outrage. And that's so not cool in my book that they would do that to someone else in the space,
Hey,
even
Jay,
if MetaMall's made a mistake.
Jay,
What's
for
up?
the sake of the audience, what is a KOL?
Key opinion leader. Essentially, it's somebody with a huge Twitter following, sometimes somebody with a YouTube account. Thank you for that. Yeah, insider term very much. So then MetaMall's responded, "Hope they still support you. My understanding was you scam them of their tokens." In other words, they said if you talk to MetaMall's, we're not even going to give you any of your tokens. Said, "Sure, made them all millionaires, every one of them." This is Blocktopia then responding, "Where's your Twitter account? Gone. Nebo not backed out yet either, so no bull perks, no DCI," because behind the scenes they were threatening everyone that if you talk to MetaMalls, they're a scam, and we will then not give you the tokens. That was my understanding of it. Not being somebody who's holding Blocktopia tokens, I personally didn't get a call from them or a message from them with that, but I talked to some people and confirmed some of this, that this was exactly what was happening. So yeah, check this article out for yourself, see if it makes sense. I know if you're in the audience, you might not have heard some of the stuff behind the scene. This is kind of like people battling the giants, battling behind the scenes. I wanted to bring it to you so at least you have full disclosure on what's out there, and share with you that it made me even more bullish because I think they handle the touchy situation where there was an oversight, absolutely, and they made a mistake. It seemed to me that they handled it very well and that the other party did not, in my opinion. We do have a super chat from Bob Builder. Thank you for that. "Can you please explain how you decide to sell Celsius at $5 to $7 and not at $3 to $4? I would love to know what you consider before taking profits." So I wouldn't, one of the things that I've done over time is when something is doing really well in my portfolio, even if it's not at take profit zones normally, is when something else that I want really bad is really, really low and getting punished, I look at what's in my portfolio that's really strong and I sell that to buy what's been punished. So that's why I ended up selling Celsius between $6 to $5, almost $6 all the way up to $7, which happened to be along the top. And I rolled into stuff that was very, very cheap. And this kind of leapfrogging has worked very well for me. Take profits while you're way ahead. Even though it wasn't in my take profit zones to cash out to the side, it was just relatively very expensive while some other things were relatively very cheap.
Jay, did you sell some of it on the way up, like in that $3 to $4 range? I mean, I don't know how long ago this was, but
it was all a couple months ago. I didn't want to be out of it completely, but there were so many good opportunities. This was mostly about 3 months ago, and actually some of it in July. If you look at the charts in July, almost everything was cheap. Except Celsius was still pretty high, and so it was a great one to sell some of my gains out of and roll them into other things that were really, really, really cheap. And so that's one of the ways I leapfrog forward, even though I think Celsius still has some room to do really well from here. And it is nice just holding Celsius in your Celsius wallet because you get paid every week on Mondays. Pretty good interest rewards, which is great, but since then Celsius has happened to go down by 50%, and some of those other things have increased tremendously. So I wouldn't say it's luck, it's just a strategic awareness of when something's doing really, really well in your portfolio, rebalance some of that into other projects that you're very bullish on, but maybe they're out of the hype cycle, people aren't paying attention to them, but behind the scenes everything seems like it's going well. On that note, we did reach out to the Spores team to see if they will come on next week, and they have agreed. So I know many of you want to hear from them. Get a feel for yourself from the team themselves, and they've agreed to come on next week. So we will set that up for next week. So join us for that, because they are a project whose token has gotten severely punished, which is when I like to buy cheap. this will give you a chance to hear from the team yourself and what you think about them, and if they have what it takes to take it back into the limelight so it can have some massive appreciation. All right, what else we got? Phaeton Arena is live and running. My son and I are playing it. His win rate is 70%. Super fun MOBA style. Phaeton Arena is fun. It's perhaps one of the most fun games out there. If you've played Litcraft's beta, it is out there. You can't technically play to earn with it yet. It is a totally different style. Phaeton Arena is a lot like that one game. What is it called, D?
Brawl Stars.
Brawl Stars.
Yeah, that's a Supercell game. I don't know how many users they have, but it's a pretty huge mobile MOBA type game. So yeah, Phaeton Arena. I think that they're trying to, to catch up to Brawl Stars, just as with regards to like the playing style and graphics and that sort of a thing. I did pick up Phaeton Arena and play it for about a night, and it just wasn't the same level, and so. But I probably should be, right. I mean, right now I'm wasting my time with Brawl Stars a little bit, and might as well be earning a little something if I'm going to be playing a game. That game is one that I think stands to have huge potential just because it is mobile, it's live, people are earning. I can't remember, we had someone in the chat tell us the other day that they were making significant money for where they were living, just playing that game. So yeah, anything that has something live, I think it's worth looking into.
Yeah, totally. Some of these games, their quality will increase over time and become worth a whole lot. It's hard to know which games are going to survive. I do think the crypto winter will affect a lot of these projects, and that some of them will not survive. That's why I'm looking at the top ones where they have like the teams that have the best background, that they have the best backers, that they have the right substance, so that they're not just going to flitter away to nothing during the crypto winter, or they're a lot less likely. And then during the crypto winter, I'm going to keep following these projects, because during the crypto winter, if we're lucky, some of their tokens will get extremely undervalued, because what happens is things tend to overpump. So when things go up, that brings more attention, and things overpump. And then it becomes, the value goes way above where it should be, and then it overcorrects to the flip side, and these big swings create massive opportunities for millions of dollars in value. In fact, hundreds of millions in value. It depends on where you start from, right? So if you're in the audience and you're at $1,000, well, you can't get to $10 million in total value right away. It takes a long ways to get there, but from where you're at with what we have left in the bull market, depending on what kind of decisions you can make, there's still a possibility of anywhere from 3x to 30x, maybe even 100x. The hard thing about 100x is some of the projects that we've reviewed will probably do 100x. In fact, multiple of them possibly will. But if you're smart and savvy, you're diversifying across multiple ones, because you don't know exactly which ones those are. So at least you'll have some exposure that go 100x, and maybe another one only does 10x. And when you balance across your portfolio what you've got, maybe your entire portfolio maybe goes 10x from here, or 15x, or 4x, depending on how much risk you take and what kind of decisions you make. So you can't ever, even though something in your portfolio might go 100x, it's really rare that you put everything in your portfolio on that one and it happens to be the one that goes 100x. So can you make 100x from here across your whole portfolio? It's not likely, especially if you're investing smart. But can you go from $1,000 to $10,000 or $30,000? Still, it's possible. And then if you're smart and you harvest that, put that on the sidelines to invest in the bear market. 30,000 in the bear market goes a very long ways towards going to over $1 million in value the following upcycle. Make sense?
Nine says, one of our buddies, Nine, better / safer to get 2x's rather than hoping for that 100x. I think that fits along with what you're talking about, right? Diversifying your portfolio. And anyway, another thing, Little Drummer Boy says, Jay, do you keep some stable coins on the side to buy these dips? It's difficult to keep some on the side and not always be fully deployed.
I'm not always fully deployed. I'm presently almost completely fully deployed. And it's unfortunate, because some of the stuff that I bought just 2 weeks ago, that I'm like, shoot, they're even cheaper now. And this is just a problem, timing the very bottom and knowing, because you have to take calculated risks. And so the truth is, you almost never catch the exact bottom and it's okay. You almost never catch the exact top, and it's okay. So as long as generally you're buying on these big retracements during a bigger uptrend and then taking profits when you're way ahead, the averages work out very, very well for you. So when we look at charts and we're like, wow, that one went 500x over a period of 3 years, the likelihood that you caught all of that 500x, even if you were invested in it, is very low. If you're lucky, you caught 200 of that 500x or something. So there is this thing that happens in crypto where we're disappointed every day because it seems like everyone else is doing better than us. Anyone in the audience ever felt that you're so far behind where everyone else is and everyone else is so much further ahead? And wow, everyone's making money and my portfolio is still just teetering along. That's a common thing because everyone talks about how things went well for them and they don't tell you about the 90% of their portfolio that's down. So it's kind of like the Facebook effect where everyone seems like they have a perfect life all the time. And so don't be disappointed with wherever you are in your own journey. We had a big pump all the way through March. Most of the things in the market have retraced since then. If you bought right at the end of March or even April and then you're still in the crypto space, if you're lucky, your portfolio is back up to where it was, but many people aren't. And then if you're patient, it's going to far exceed where you're at right now. So give it some time. And I know March till now feels like an extremely long amount of time. In the investment world, it's an extremely short amount of time. In the crypto world, it just feels longer than it actually is. That's approximately 8 months. It feels like it's been 3 years, doesn't it? So I think we have one really strong bull leg ahead of us still, and that's my guess. I don't know that. I would give it a 90% chance, though, that we do. And if so, it's going to possibly be 3 times stronger than what happened in January, February, and March. And that is going to be a wild ride. And so even if you didn't buy the very bottom, I think you'll be very pleased with exactly where you're at. All right, Decentralized Sancho. Hey, man, I finally caught your lives. Great work. Thank you for that. We did catch the one with the greatest amount of technical difficulties, which has been its own type of interesting. I want to share with you some really bullish news, and then I want to get more into where your thoughts are. Now, this just came out. So this article was January 3rd. Ethereum NFT market soars in the first days of 2022. And this is confirming, this is evidence to support my theory that we still have a strong bull run ahead of us. First days after 2022, OpenSea marks another $3 billion month. The Bored Ape Yacht Club and Xcopy are the biggest winners, and OpenSea notches its best day of trading volume in months. The NFT market is booming in the early days of 2022, with OpenSea seeing its best day since August. The Bored Ape Yacht Club and Mutant Ape Yacht Club are leading the recent charts. After years of explosive growth, the market for NFT collectibles and artwork is showing no signs of slowing down so far in 2022. And this is very bullish because as these celebrities like Eminem and others get Bored Apes, catches everyone's attention. Then they're like, oh, NFTs. And that brings a lot of money into the crypto space. It gets them aware of other type of cryptocurrencies too, so it doesn't only pump the NFT market, it has effects outside of that into crypto gaming, even into some of your blue chip altcoins like Cardano and Solana and Ethereum. So this is really good news, as well as there is some on-chain analysis that suggests whales continue buying huge amounts of Bitcoin, which adds up to me that my theory has been still correct, and that we're going to have a massive run ahead of us, and we are just getting squeezed, and the pressure is on. This is why so many people fall out of crypto. So if you're still here today, you're part of the resilient ones that's going to be around long enough to have your portfolio massively benefit from this technology shift that continues to happen.
Jay, to your point with with the NFTs, like your point of it feeling like, you know, a couple months is a couple of years in crypto, like to me it feels like NFTs have not been in the narrative forever, right? I'm like, oh, that was forever ago, that, you know. And so we look at, I mean, NFTs were still doing really, really well in September, early part of October, if I remember. And so now it's been like 2.5 months. They've been a little bit down, and now all of a sudden they're back, right? So yeah, it is. Just speaking it from personal experience, it's like I completely agree with what you're saying, and see it again from personal experience. So it is cool to see that OpenSea is having record numbers again, and
the money's coming back in.
Yeah, for sure.
This wave is coming, and that's going to be a wild ride. I had an interesting comment from Suresh Didu. He said, like your channel, but again, you should have proper time for the show every day. It's different time every day. Thanks for sharing your wisdom. Hey, thank you, Suresh, for your feedback. The live stream is at the same time, but we only do the live streams Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We didn't do Wednesday this week. I had a family thing that came up. I did have to fly out of town, and I just could not put my attention to making a live stream happen on Wednesday. So live streams are the same time Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The other videos, like pre-recorded videos, sometimes interviews that we can't align our schedules to have them on the live stream. What do you guys think about having some of our people come on the live stream? Did you like that when Cornucopias came on right during the live stream so that you could ask them your questions, or you could tell us what your questions are and we were able to ask them? Because I love that. How did you feel about that episode?
I thought that episode went great, and and it was exciting because we had some people that we don't normally see in the channel too who are fans of Cornucopias, and so I really enjoyed the interaction, and I think that the project appreciated it as well. So I think we're going to try and get some more people on live and figure out better ways to do that. But to Suresh's point, we did change. We were going at like 9:30 Pacific for a while when we first started live streaming. Now we're doing 11 Pacific. So we did change that a little bit, but I mean that we are consistent now with the live stream time.
Yeah, so if you tune in the same time, the live streams will we're really liking this time zone. It works really well for our prep time, so we have enough prep time to try to deliver as good of a show as we can for you. And it is hard to get some of the projects that are in like the opposite side of the world, because we've talked to a few and they're like, we'd love to join your live stream, but that's 2 a.m. for us. So maybe, especially as we get bigger, they will wake up at 2 a.m. to come on the live stream, because I love that. I love that I could ask them your questions. Part of my goal with this whole channel is I don't need to do this channel for money. In fact, I did retire back in April, and so you got to find something to do with your time. And crypto retired me just from the past 4 years. I mean, in that time, it gave me enough money to never have to work again in my life. And if I do this channel right and I educate you on kind of some of the things that I messed up on and my mistakes and what I learned, and now I have had 20 years investing experience prior to this, and I can share with you the system that I use. My hope is that many of you in 4 years' time in crypto, or maybe 5 years' time in crypto, or even farther ahead of where I was, because I made some big mistakes that slowed down where I could have been. And that's okay. When you're new, you're always bad. You've got to start somewhere. And anything, you're bad before you're good, which is why we say that in the rap. We play at the end of everything, and we specifically developed that rap. I did not do the lyric, or I wrote the lyrics for the rap. I did not sing it because I do not have a singing voice. We hired a rapper out of the UK to sing it for us so that it would be much more entertaining. Maybe if I actually did sing it, it would get lots of views, but for all the wrong reasons. Because I do not sing. It's not my strength. But that's why we included that in the rap, is because some of these mistakes and some of the things that I learned that really works in crypto over time. Buy when it's boring. You sell it when it's hot. A lot of these things that I say a lot of the time, and just reinforce it. And what I hope with this channel is that I could help prevent you from feeling the FOMO when it gets really bad. I can help you understand as it gets crazy again to take profits while you're ahead. I didn't fully know what to do in March because it was not supposed to pump so strong so early. I was baffled by what was happening. I hadn't seen that pattern in the bull run before, and I didn't know exactly what to think about it. I could have taken away more profits. I didn't, because I was caught off guard by so much of a huge pump way too early, and I didn't know what that would lead to. There was a chance it would break through the cycle and we would have a super cycle, and the other chance was it would come right back down to reality and set up for a really nice bull run, leg of the bull run that would happen later that might be 3 times as strong, and I think that's exactly what it did. What's your current opinion on Shadows, Formation Fi, and Splyt? Great question. I'm bullish on all of them. I'm trying to work out something to have Shadows on Formation Finance. I did reach out to them, and they said probably in a couple of weeks, maybe a month, we'll be able to do something. They have their head down and are working super hard to get their next milestones out. And Splyt, I have not talked about them. I'm very, very bullish. Splyt is basically a decentralized Shopify. All these projects have been out of the narrative for a while. They're token prices are relatively very, very cheap, I like to buy when things are boring. Omi, $1 party, yeah.
He says Jay has to sign the rap. I think he meant Jay has to sing the rap.
Sing the rap.
What
no,
should we
please.
should have something where, like, if we hit 100,000 subscribers, then you have to do the rap.
Oh my gosh.
I'll do the backups. I'll be like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah. Can I just lip sync and have decent? He actually has good singing voice. But you know, if Omi hits $1, we will have a specific version. We'll reach out to Charlie again, see if we can get him to do a specific rap. I'll write some words related to Omi. If Omi hits $1, we'll do something. Why don't we set up some fun things like that? When we hit 100,000 subscribers, we're gonna have a new version of the rap done. Maybe we'll have some comic, and maybe we'll do what is it called? A video. Like an MTV video, or a music video. Where we'll get D and we'll get doctor stuff and get some footage shot and everything and deliver all of that, because Charlie can do that. And then we'll have him rapping it like a music video you'd see on MTV or something. That would be cool. So at 100,000 subscribers, we'll do that. And if Omi breaks $1, we are going to have a specific Omi rap done. All right, let's see what else we got. Christopher Lanch. Can't hear you at the job site, but I'm watching anyway. Thanks, Chris. We appreciate the support. Forum will release their alpha on Monday. Splyt Marketplace starts in late February with big partners. Yes, they're doing all the right things behind the scenes, and it's okay that they're out of the marketplace. In fact, I love that they get out of the marketplace, because I don't know about you, I like to buy low in order to sell high. And how can you buy low if it never hits lows? So this is part of this cycle, and thinking like this and understanding these cycles, setting your emotions aside, this is where the money comes. A lot of people think that they can come into crypto, not learn anything about buying smart, about trying to identify what is a solid project versus a mediocre or poor project, how to then identify when solid projects are then cheap because they're out of the market cycle, then pick them up and be patient while you're waiting for them to come back into the market cycle and into the spotlight to then go crazy, and then taking profits. And if I were to summarize what it takes to become really rich in crypto, that is it. Add 5 years total into that, or two, at least part of one bull run and a full other cycle. And that is a recipe to make people millions of dollars, depending on how much they have to start with. And if you start with $100, $1 million, that's a long ways away. That'd take you like probably 8 to 10 years. But if you start with at least a couple of thousand, you're in a better position to get to significant money in 5 years, especially depending on the decisions you make and how well you follow that system of buying when it's really cheap, waiting till it does well. But if you buy crap projects when they're really cheap, who knows what they'll do? Sometimes they pump later anyway. Sometimes they go to zero. All right, looks like we're 56 minutes in. A few other questions.
Yeah, we're actually close to 58, so we probably need to wrap sooner than later. Phil Rice did just point out, in addition to those, that SolBank is going to release their main app this week, they said. So, you know, I don't know if this week means the end of this week, something like that. It is Friday or beginning of next week or something like that. But we do like SolBank. We like the...
We do like the privacy app, though. It'll have its own narrative when privacy becomes really important again, and then projects like SolBank will do really, really well. We love SolBank's current market cap, which is extremely low, puts us in position to pump tremendously. So if you're ready to be a rainmaker and join the Navy SEALs of crypto and level up your crypto game, are you looking for life-changing gains? Some of you for wife-changing gains, or just improve your life financially, maybe get that car you've always dreamed of? Well, you're in the right place. We focus on crypto education here, and we're trying to create the most informed audience in all of crypto. And if we do well at that, then it's highly possible, if you commit to the next 5 years, we'll also create one of the wealthiest audiences in all of crypto. And I have a feeling this is going to come together very well. So thank you for joining us. If you haven't already, would you smash that like button? We do want to thank our strategic partners, Wanchain. I almost forgot. In fact, we'll have to penalize ourselves for running a little bit late. We have some Wanchain to give away. So what question am I going to ask in order to determine who we're going to give away?
Wanchain giveaway? Come on, guys.
Yeah, I remember at the same time Ryan S. did. So we're going to give away Wanchain, 125 Wanchain. And the question I have is... What is the CEO's name of Wanchain? First person to give us that response. We then will need to get your MetaMask address or your Wanchain address.
Which we'll do through Telegram. So send us your Telegram handle, right?
Yeah, sell us your Telegram handles. Jack Lou, there we go. We got it.
Ryan S was ready. Good thing
Woo.
Ryan S reminded us. Wow.
Ryan S was all over it. Ryan S, you are our winner today. So please, real quick, get us, Ryan S, get us your Telegram, and D will then get your MetaMask address, send it to me, and I will send you 125 won. Congratulations. Thank you all for joining us. Look forward to seeing you next time.
Came into the space chasing all of the gains, chasing the pumps and all of the hype trains. But like in life, shit, buy before you could. Was told to buy when it was pouring like a rain, make it should. Buy when it's down, don't chase the boats that I miss.